Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Rundown on A2DRadio.com. New opening. A lot of fun. That's that's exciting.
I like
Gets,
that.
you
I'm
know,
so
gets
excited.
you pumped up coming into the show. It's like when Sean's snorting lines, bumping him off his kneecap as he's about to enter the building. It gets you fired up like that.
I had to save the IDs, fellas. I couldn't.
No cocaine this week, right?
No,
No.
never. Cocaine.
Yeah, we're just making jokes. Sean doesn't snort cocaine that we know of, but based on the last couple weeks and how we get fired up pre-show.
Oh yeah.
That's my running joke. Either that or Adderall pills, because I know what Adderall pills do to you. I've been prescribed Adderall.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was.
Oh man.
That was my childhood. Yeah, you can give a 12-year-old 80 milligrams of Adderall. It's phenomenal. We're live in the Legends Tap studio. Of course, we're just going to switch it up now. Different. Gonna do a different studio every week. We got to put one of our sponsors in there. And make them happy. Got to pay the bills, right? Got to keep the people that pay the bills happy. And as always, we're brought to you by Obie's Catering. Yes, I am trying to stall. I'm sorry, everybody. Somebody keeps eating our live reads here in the studio. And, we're not real sure
It's not me this
where
time.
they've gone down to. It's not you this time, Ralph. Maybe it's Noah. Noah's the one that's always eating the pizza. Whenever there's extra slices of pizza laying around, it's Mr. Eaton. Maybe he's the one that's also eating the live reads. We're brought to you by Obie's Catering. We're changing the world one dish at a time. We're 2 minutes in. We're already just off the deep end completely. This is crazy. Changing the world one dish at a time. You can contact Chris O'Brien, 856-534-8410. Email cateringbyobie@yahoo.com. Tell him Tom Arnone sent you. And you'll get 20% off. And as I said, we're live in the Legends Tap Studios, the best pizza this side of the Delaware, 318 I Street, Burlington, New Jersey, right down the street this way from where we are here at the studio, a 2-minute walk, 609-336-3001. Follow them on Facebook at Legends Tap. Got a big show today.
I can't wait.
We kind of teased a little bit last week
Free
what we were
agency.
talking about. NFL Combine's underway. 40-yard dash and everything starts Friday. Guys are just showing up in Indianapolis for the Combine. And, Carson Wentz. And,
I'm surprised that all the quarterbacks, didn't back out yet.
all these top prospects that everybody wants to be excited about. The hype train has officially left the
Yeah.
station, Sean.
Yep.
Ralph, that's a fit. The hype train has left the station. Mike Mayock yesterday just said Carson Wentz to him reminds him of Andrew Luck. And I was like, really? Like, we're throwing out that comparison already? He's like, the way he's built and the way he plays, it reminds me of Andrew Luck. So I'm really high on him. I was like, okay, can we at least have him take a snap and,
Yeah.
the
Toss
Combine?
the ball here a little bit.
A little bit before we make that type of comparison. So we're going to talk Combine, what we're excited about. We're going to talk NFL free agency.
Well,
since
we got
that's
breaking
starting
news.
next week, and we do have breaking
Hey,
news,
yeah.
don't we?
Ralph,
How about
you want to do the
Couple-
honors?
couple different
D'Amico
breaking
Ryans,
news.
boys, is out of town. D'Amico Ryans is released, saving up $3.5 million for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And another
Saw
breaking
that one
news.
coming. We've talked about that.
And
over the
another
few
one. How
weeks.
about Sanchez might be gone, they're saying. So
Thank
that's gonna free
goodness.
up
That's
more room.
pending right now, right?
Yeah, that's pending.
Thank
Okay.
goodness.
That's pending.
Mark Sanchez.
So, Zach, I know you're going to hate this and all, but Sam Bradford might still be a Philadelphia
that's the other
Eagles.
side of the breaking news is that reports started breaking last night that Sam Bradford could sign a contract extension, and that at least all signs were pointing to him returning to Philadelphia. At least that's the report that I read. I know, Sean, you probably read a similar report.
Yes.
Maybe we read the same report, but yeah, I mean, listen, as I we've talked over the past month, as I've made clear, do I hate Bradford? No, I was actually the guy on this table at this panel that was defending Ralph. You remember specifically.
I love Bradford.
When it
I
was
hope
more
he
me and
stays.
you, and Sean was still calling
like
in.
him.
Listen,
I
he
like
opened,
him.
He
I'm
opened
a
up during
fan.
that Patriots
I
game,
was
and it showed a lot
defending
of
him,
people that.
but my whole thing is I'm not paying him $100 and whatever million dollars
No
over
way.
a 5 or 6 year deal, and at some point that's what
I
this is
can't
gonna
give him a
come
long.
down to.
I can't give him a long-term contract.
And what I want to know
2 or
is
3 years is pretty good for me.
well, what? Yeah,
2 year would have maybe
listen,
a 3 year
I agree
option.
with. I think he needs to sign an Alex Smith type of deal. 4 years, $65 million, whatever the hell the deal was that Alex Smith signed initially. Okay, cool. Something like that. I'd be. I don't think that's what he's going for. Our reports. I mean, you heard you broke it. What his agent was asking for a month ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
$100
Like
freaking million
he
dollars.
wants a Kirk Cousins contract.
But here's the
he
thing.
wants that deal, 6 years and $100+ million.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. Before he signed with the Eagles, they were reporting that he was actually thinking about retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he, that thing is the Eagles gave up a second round draft pick on a trade for Nick Foles, But here, this guy was going to retire.
Well,
so that kind of threw me off.
this
a
is
And
little
what I
then,
don't
and then
like
the
about it.
Eagles wanted to get Nick Foles back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's terrible. Nick Foles stinks.
Yeah.
Please.
Yo, he had that luckiest year
You
in the
know,
world.
we talked about RG3. We talked about RG3 pre-show and the fact that he's going to be out in Washington, and we talked about possible landing destination. I know I talked with Ryan, Ryan Broda from the Philly Sports Fix coming up later, and I talked with him. He said, do you think there's any chance that he ended up here? And I was like, no, and let's hope not. But on top of that, besides the let's hope not part, I don't think there's any chance. And I talked about the Cowboys as a destination, but one of the teams I actually think we should keep an eye on is what is now the LA Rams. He reminds me a lot of Aaron McNair, and I know Aaron McNair's a guy you like, and Jeff Fisher's the head coach out there in L.A. I really think Jeff Fisher could figure out how to manage that personality.
Aaron
that is
McNair
Robert
was
Griffin
2
III.
yards away from winning a Super Bowl.
I think.
Remember that?
Well, and listen, if anybody could figure out how to manage the personality that is Robert Griffin III, it's probably going to be a guy like Jeff Fisher. He's like, son, I coached somebody for 10 years that was the clone of what you are.
Yeah.
I coached somebody in Steve McNair that was exactly
And
what
the
you
Rams
are
do need a
as
quarterback,
a player and
man.
as a person.
The Rams do need a quarterback, and it's already locked up. I don't think he goes to
Exactly.
Cleveland.
No,
I
don't-
think Cleveland's
it's
going
gotta
to
be
take.
smart.
Now
He's
let me ask you
but Cleveland's
something.
gonna take a quarterback
Would you
in their
bring? I know
first
I know
pick.
you're not a big Nick Foles fan,
Yeah.
but would you bring him back for almost
Hell
nothing?
no. I'm not
For
bringing Nick Foles at all.
for a
No.
backup
No.
quarterback.
No.
Not a backup. Okay.
No.
He could be my
That's-
fourth stringer.
Like, what was it? He can shine the kicker's shoes on the sideline.
Yeah.
Like I don't think why we
Go get Park.
I
Go
don't-
send
I
him to the
don't-
locker room and get
yeah,
Park
I
his
don't
new cleats or
understand that.
something.
I don't understand I don't understand Foles you don't play. I'm signing this guy so he can be my backup quarterback.
Yeah,
Hey,
honestly,
you guys
honestly,
you
guys,
guys
right
still have a
there,
statue of
he
him.
does-
in the
He does still look good in
Seriously,
Eagles
like-
uniform. Look at
You have
that.
a
Like, he
statue
looks
with
good
him
in
and
Eagles
Swoop in
uniform.
the freaking studio.
Like that's what you do. Like
That
that,
was
Okay, it was a gift.
Like that's what you do.
It
when
says
you're the
Acme
Cowboys.
on sponsored by Acme too.
That's
so.
what you do when you're the Cowboys, and you're worried that Tony Romo's now made of glass, and the next injury is the end of the career. So I need to bring in somebody as a backup that I at least know if he goes down is giving me more than what Brandon Whedon or Matt Castle gave me.
If
We're not in that
RG3
position.
doesn't hurt his knee against Seattle, he's still in a good quarterback. RG3 is. If he doesn't injure
You
his
know,
knee
I
against
think
Seattle.
I think he was figuring it out, and I think that's part of it there. I think one that killed a lot of his confidence, and two, I think he knows how to play football one way, and the knee is just never going to be
100% like
you
it
know,
was.
well,
when
they're
he was
two
a
also-
Baylor.
ACLs, he's not going to be able to be
And
that
they're
guy,
also
and
saying that
doesn't
he
wanna
was a
change.
big time locker room cancer. I'll give you an example.
Absolutely.
They were saying that he had to get picked up every day by Daniel Snyder.
Yeah.
Daniel Snyder
Well,
went and picked him up, him
yeah.
and his fiance
Yeah, that
every
was
day
true.
to take them to games and practice
Daniel
and everything
Snyder
else. So
gave
he was
Robert
getting the
Griffin
luxury.
III private, permission for private
Right.
use of his limousine, of his jet, and that was all part of the rookie year where some of the players started kind of getting rubbed the wrong way on Robert Griffin III.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's a rookie, and ownership's babying him and giving him he can fly him and his fiance anywhere he wants in Daniel Snyder's private jet, or use Daniel Snyder's private driver to drive them
Yeah.
anywhere they want throughout the city, and that's
you
a problem.
can't
But
baby a rookie, man.
listen,
you can't
listen,
baby a rookie.
is that a problem on Robert Griffin III's part? Yeah, it's a bigger problem though on Daniel Snyder's part for what you're talking about. I mean, why would you do that? Why with all the personalities on your team, do you really think that's a smart move to give the rookie? You're giving him preferential treatment over anybody else. Santana Moss is sitting there yo, Holmes, I won a national championship at Miami back in the day. I've been here for
Where's
10
my
years.
jet?
I've been
Where's
here for
my
10
jet?
years. They're like, where's my private driver to take me all around the
I'm
damn
catching
city?
Super
Like,
Bowl winning
What the
touchdowns in the
hell?
corner of the end zone. Where's
You
my
know?
jet?
Well, that was Santonio Holmes.
Oh, yeah.
Santana
Oh, yeah,
Moss.
Oh, I'll
Moss,
never
Moss,
forget
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
remember that?
That
They
was
both
my
were pretty good
Oh,
receivers, but
dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
Moss played with he was with the Jets initially, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
the Lavonius Coles trade. Coles went to the Jets, and then Moss
Right,
ended up
right.
with the.
Well,
with the
he signed that.
Redskins.
He signed that. And the reason why Deshaun Jackson got that, that $50 million contract and $18 or $20 million guaranteed is because of the Santonio Holmes. Santonio
Yeah.
Holmes got that money,
Yeah.
but I think he got $25 million guaranteed. I think.
Yes,
Yeah, he
yeah,
got
It was a
Santonio
50. It was a
Holmes,
Almost
5-year.
from the
It was a
Jets.
5-year,
It was
$50
close
million.
to 30 mil.
But
yeah.
if you remember, Santonio Holmes signed that money with the Jets because the Steelers weren't going to re-sign him, right? Because they had
Yeah.
Mike Evans. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So
At the
Mike
time,
Wallace.
Mike
Mike
Wallace.
Wallace,
Excuse me, not Mike
You're
Evans.
talking
Mike
about
Wallace.
Santonio Holmes,
Right.
and that's actually a really good segue for what we want to talk about, in the deal that he signed, because there's quite a few free agent wide receivers out there.
Alshon
that are
Jeffrey,
I love
baby.
Alshon
Oh,
Jeffrey.
yes.
That was supposed to be our thumbnail,
Yeah,
but
he has some unbelievable
Mr. Lyons and me are going to have a talk because for some reason, Malcolm Jenkins ended up as our thumbnail, and it was supposed to be
He
Alshon
was excited.
Jeffrey.
He was excited.
It was supposed to be Alshon Jeffrey.
Listen, Alshon Jeffrey's out there, boys, and hey, I'm
Yeah.
giving him money.
Well,
I'm gonna give him a call.
listen,
I'm gonna give him
I'll give him a
offer.
call, but let's not jump ahead of ourselves here, Ralph, because as me and Sean talked a little bit pre-show, there's more than just Alshon Jeffrey out there.
I love this.
You got JPP.
Well, forget
And
about
his club
JPP.
hand?
Well, yeah, JPP, I mean, he wants to be back in New York. I think the Giants want him back, and it's just a matter of them working out a deal. But
club
let's move
hand.
back from
Yo,
Alshon.
let's
I do
be
like
honest,
old
Ralph.
club hand.
Ralph,
Old
you'll
three
lay-
fingers.
Yo, and even in Madden, they got the club hand.
Yo,
on.
you would laugh every game with him out there as a Philadelphia Eagle
Oh,
with
man,
a
no.
club hand.
How about
Come
this?
on, man.
Besides Alshon Jeffrey, Marvin Jones is available at the wide
Yeah.
receiver position from Cincinnati.
Yeah, I know you love that.
Yeah, well, listen, I think you're going to get him for cheaper than you can get. Alshon Jeffrey's going to demand Julio Jones, A.J. Green type of money.
Sanu's out
and,
there.
And rightfully so. Mohamed Sanu's now
Yeah.
available.
Yeah.
But, I mean, listen, Marvin Jones, how about you go down even further? A guy I like even more, I might like this guy more than any of them, Travis Benjamin.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I know you
Yeah.
continuously talk about how much you love Deshaun Jackson, and it makes me want to slap you in the face.
Come
But,
on, man.
to
he
each
does his
their own.
thing. Yeah.
We'll agree to disagree. Yes,
Sounds good.
The pun was intended. Yes, it was. Travis Benjamin.
Oh,
is-
you mean the punt where he returned it all the way back with no?
No, the pun.
I
The
know.
pun.
I thought you meant the punt.
Yes. No, the pun was
I'm
intended.
kidding.
Well, our flagship show for Agree to Disagree. Yes, that pun was absolutely
love
intended.
it.
If Tom's at home and listening, he's like air high fiving me right now. Air high five, Tom. I feel you.
Yeah.
Travis Benjamin's 5'10", 190 pounds, kind of a smaller receiver, kind of that quick, agile guy that you liked with Jackson.
Yeah.
But what is he that Deshaun Jackson wasn't?
He's taller.
Well, a little bit taller, but I think he's more of a complete receiver. He controls the middle of the field.
You're saying
He
going
can
across the
stretch
middle.
field. Well, I think he can do everything. Deshaun was a stretch the field type of receiver, and to your point, why you liked him, you need that in an offense.
Yeah.
Somebody that can stretch the field, and Benjamin can do that for me.
Listen,
But I think more than that,
and the
Benjamin,
run game and look at LaShawn McCoy's best years. The run game was
very
going
true.
off.
And
I mean, with
that's what
Deshaun
you talk about with stretching the field.
Yeah.
Benjamin can do that, but he's also more of a complete receiver. He'll run every route in the book. He controls the middle of the field. He can run sideline routes. He can obviously stretch the field like we're talking about. I like that. I like that idea. And plus, think about it. Think of everything we know about Andy Reid and an Andy Reid type of system. If we're assuming that Doug Peterson's going to be trying to institute that same type of system, Travis Benjamin really fits that type of system well. And it always has fit that type of Andy Reid system
Yeah,
well.
what kind of money is he asking for?
Well, I think you probably get him for cheaper than you're going to get Alshon
Yeah.
Jeffrey.
Oh,
And if
yeah,
we're willing to throw
definitely.
money at Alshon Jeffrey,
Dude, his hands are. I'll just never.
You know-
forget.
Oh,
His
Alshon
corner
Jeffrey's
of the
got
end zone.
his first
I mean,
year in
it's
the
Megatron
league was-
hands.
yeah, Alshon Jeffrey.
Jesus.
I mean, I remember I watched Jeffrey at South Carolina because I was that type of nerd watching college football. The old head ball coaches there and Steve Spurrier, and they were just kind of coming up and becoming better in the SEC. And Jeffrey was the guy there. I mean, if Marcus Lattimore stayed healthy, actually.
And popping
more
his
than
knee out
more
every
than just
friggin'
that
down.
freshman year. Lattimore's soft. Lattimore
knee
wasn't quite
injury
there.
was
if
disgusting,
if
man.
Jeffrey
and
could
he's
have came
young.
back,
Jeffrey's young.
if Jeffrey
too.
would have came back as a senior and played with Lattimore, I mean, they could have been competing for the
Yeah.
SEC title that year. Jeffrey, got phenomenal hands. I mean,
He's young,
he's
got
tee up.
youth on him.
He's everything you want. If you put him in, he could be Andre Johnson for you for the next 10 years. That's what he has that type of ability. But at the same time, and listen, if we sign him, I'll be doing
I'll be
cartwheels.
happy.
Okay, I'll be
Yeah.
doing cartwheels.
I'll start my own parade down Broad Street.
I'm just kicking around the idea of if you sign Benjamin for a little cheaper, now you have more money
Yeah.
to go out in other areas. And I'm going to throw this idea out to both of you guys here before we go to our first break. Another big deal for us, offensive line. That was a big question mark at times last year.
Now they're
You know,
saying the Eagles are also saying that they might be getting Jack Conklin. The
Well,
Michigan State
Jack
offensive
Conklin's going to be
lineman
one of
at
those.
13.
We talked about him last year. He was
Right.
one of those guys, the offensive lineman that would be going right around in the area where we were going to pick at 13. But Cordy Glenn is the top offensive lineman available. He's still young. He's from Buffalo. Listen, let's be honest here. If you throw money at him, you really think he's going to be like, no, I'd rather stay in Buffalo. Bull crap. My
Yeah.
man's going to want to come here all day.
He don't want to shovel snow in Buffalo
yeah, like
every day. I
like
mean, we only shoveled snow one time this year.
Yeah, like Cordy Glenn, the only way Buffalo has a chance, I think, of keeping him is if they throw the franchise tag at him, which they might do. I mean, he's a left tackle, and we all know how valuable top left tackles are in this league.
Right.
But Buffalo very easily could also just say, hey, you know what? We've got holes in other areas. We want to spend money there. We're not going to throw that money at you. You can walk and hit free agency. And he could also threaten that if you end up giving me a franchise tag, I'll hold out. I really think we need to sign an offensive lineman in free agency, and that's why I might be more open to the idea of Marvin Jones, Travis Benjamin, or even a guy you mentioned, and Marquis Colston, or even somebody like you mentioned with Mohamed Sanu. For those reasons, we can then have money to sign Cordy Glenn. Let's go down further than Glenn. look who else. You got Kelechi Osemele from Baltimore. You know, he took Michael Orr's job out there. If you remember, Osemele was the guy that ended up being their left tackle when they won the Super Bowl. You go down even further than that. You got Russell Okung from Seattle. He's a good player.
Yep.
Alex Boone from San Francisco. Mitchell Schwartz from Cleveland. Those are all of those names I just mentioned are all in the top 30 for the free agents that are on the board. They're available free agents. They're all top 30
A
free
lot
agents.
of good free agents this year, boys.
We got a lot to
of good
talk
free
about.
agents.
This is the rundown on a2dradio.com. We are brought to you by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Go to 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Call 856-939-2030. Email sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit their website, www.sportsoutletinc.com.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, a2dradio.com.
Hi, this is Matt Sudi of the Hockey Happy Hour. And if I want a night out in the town but I don't want to miss the Flyers, there's only one place I'm going to, the Phillies Sports Bar. Located in 31 South Black Horse Pike in Runnemede, New Jersey, it has over 40 plasma and HD TVs with a brick oven and a 2-story deck. This sports bar has truly surpassed everyone's expectations. For the one-of-a-kind sports memorabilia to the life-size sports figures, this bar stays true to its name. The Phillies Sports Bar also provides a quality service along with an outstanding variety of the finest liquors and well-known beers with a family-friendly environment for everyone, while remaining true to what they are, the best darn sports bar. So check out the Phillies Sports Bar. You can give them a call at 856-939-4322, send them an email at info@phillysportsbar.com, or check out their website at www.phillysportsbar.com. That's the Phillies Sports Bar in Runnemede, New Jersey.
This is Tom Arnone, owner and founder of a2dradio.com. What if I told you I knew the best caterer in the business? Well, I'm not going to lie to you. It's Obie's Catering. You can contact Obie's Catering at cateringbyobie@yahoo.com or give Chris O'Brien a call at 856-534-8410. From graduations to wedding rehearsals to just if you need food cooked in your house. He'll do it all. He's trying to change the world one dish at a time. That's Obie's Catering. Chris O'Brien, 856-534-8410. Tell him Tommy A from a2dradio.com sent you, and you'll get 20% off.
Hey guys, Rob Povia here from Fantasy Dominance Now in the Hockey Happy Hour with a quick question. Are you in need of a professional home improvement? Then contact Harry's Contracting, 609-638-6336. That's 609-638-6336. No job too big, no job too small. The owner, Harry Ernst, is a fully licensed general contractor. Tile work, bathroom and kitchen remodeling, and just about everything else. No matter what you need, Harry will leave your home looking as beautiful as ever. Harry's Contracting offers free estimates, and if you mention A2D Radio during the estimate, Harry will give you 15% off the quote. Give him the job, tack on another 5% for a total of 20% savings off his already insane low prices. So contact Harry's Contracting today, 609-638-6336, or email Harry's Contracting Improvements at gmail.com. Harry's Contracting, insane home improvements.
A2D Radio A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to The Rundown, only on A2DRadio.com.
This is The Rundown on A2DRadio.com, talking NFL free agency, NFL Combine, brought to you by Romeo's Termite and Pest Control. Your local pest control provider. If you have pests that need to be taken care of, they're a family-owned and operated business. Call them at 856-341-3927. Visit the website, romeospestcontrol.com. I got a couple pests next to me at the moment that need to be taken care of, so I might give Romeo's a call if y'all ain't careful. Specifically, this one sitting across from me. And those of you that can't see who I'm pointing at, that would be Ralph. Mullet man over here.
Actually, Doug
Just gets
Peterson,
longer
Doug
and longer
Peterson
and
is actually
longer
talking
every
at the
week.
combine right now.
Oh, is he?
Scheduled 15.
That sounds like a snooze
That's
fest.
another thing. I can't. We were talking about this before the show. As soon as we got that breaking news report, 4:15 combine. I'm like, oh my God, we're at the NFL combine
Yeah,
already.
I know.
And then Zach reported that the
Well,
real
yeah.
stuff is Friday.
They're doing interviews and everything now, and like
The
starting that
players
whole
just
process.
But
got there
isn't
today.
it crazy? If
The 40-yard dashes, and I
the
think
season-
the quarterbacks are
It
thrown
feels so
Friday.
good, fellas, that the season just ended, and it feels like we're already getting back in
First
the
of
NFL
all,
season.
And
It's great.
all the combine stats won't get out until Sunday. So
Yeah, true. And Doug Peterson, he's talking at this very moment. That sounds like, get me my blanket, my pillow, because it's time to take a
Yeah.
nap. That's a snooze fest of an interview right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I'd rather have Jim. Can we interview Jim Schwartz? At
Yeah.
least he'll give me a good
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'll get something out of him. I'll get.
Yeah,
some
you're
fire,
always
some
good. Let me
passion.
tell you something. And you look at not to change any subject, but okay, Andy Reid when he first came in here.
Yeah.
All right. I believe the Eagles before Andy Reid the year I think they were 3-13 if I'm correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ray Rhodes was the
Ray Rhodes. Andy
dumbass.
Reid came in here, and who did he pick up? Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson, we all know, is good. Now, in my opinion, is one of the best, greatest defensive coordinators, arguably, of
Now,
all time.
here you-
And look what he did. 5 NFC championships in 14 years under Jimmy Johnson. God
He
rest
had
his
to
soul.
die, man.
But now look what Peterson's doing. He's
Yeah.
bringing in his own personnel.
Yeah.
You're only as good as your own personnel. So if Jim Schwartz is, I think he's, every year he's been a coordinator, was top 10, defense.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's always been. Yeah, he's had top 10 defenses. I think like 7 out of like the 9
that's
years that
incredible.
he's been a coordinator.
yeah.
But what is this? Let's see. Ryan Brodo has handed me something. Jeff McClain is reporting. Peterson says that the Eagles have a contingency plan in case they can't bring Sam Bradford back.
Oh, jeez.
And Ryan just said it better not be Chase
Oh,
Daniels.
God.
which-
it better not
listen,
be Chase Daniels.
Listen, I
I
agree.
hate
God.
Chase
I agree
Do
Daniels.
we
with that.
agree, Sam
Hold on.
Bradford, Chase
Hold on.
Daniels?
I agree with that. But everybody roll with me here
Oh.
for 1 minute. Here for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Because we just talked about when Andy first got here and showed up in Philadelphia. I remember a man. I believe he might be head coaching this team at this moment. I think his name was Doug Peterson, and we didn't know anything, about him back at that time. Just like we don't really know anything about him now.
Yeah.
But to my point of what I'm talking about, of why I don't want Bradford back, and I thought a name like Brian Hoyer, McCown, anybody like that, just as a transitional thing. Listen, I don't think Brian Hoyer would be any more the answer, at the quarterback. But don't get me wrong, I'm not signing Brian Hoyer to a contract extension either. But my point is, just like how Andy Reid was thinking in his first year, he had Doug Peterson as his quarterback, and you talked about it, Ralph and Break, right? Well, we don't have a quarterback going in. We wouldn't have a quarterback going into the draft. Well, we didn't have one going into the draft that year either, and then we drafted Donovan. And Andy's whole plan was, I'm going to have Doug Peterson play until we're ready to transition over to that guy who I feel is like our future, our guy going forward. So all I'm saying is from Doug Peterson's perspective, why would it be such a bad idea to think along those lines and say, I don't like any of the guys that I have available right now? You don't sign Bradford to the $100 million contract unless you are absolutely positive, if you're Doug Peterson, Howie Roseman, and everybody in the Eagles organization, that that's your guy. You don't just get backed into the corner because his agent is throwing all types of stuff at you, and you're scared, well, if we don't sign him, who do we have play next year? Have Brian Hoyer. Have Josh McCann. If you really don't feel like if he's your guy, I'm not signing that deal. I'm okay with having a transitional period. 1 year of a transitional period. Now, we're not doing a 3-year transitional period. I better not look, at the end of this year, if Brian Hoyer was our quarterback this year, we better not be going into next year with him as that same guy. No, that's not the case.
Jeez.
But I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. Why do you have to sign Bradford to that deal if he is not your guy? Why not, if you're Doug Peterson, do what Andy did when Andy first got here, and you were that guy for Andy, that transitional guy, that guy that played the position until we were ready to hand over the reins to somebody else that we felt like was our long-term
Zach,
answer.
I'm going to tell you. I'm not going after Hoyer. I'm not going after McCown. What I will go if I know that I'm not going to sign Sam Bradford.
I'm drafting a
No.
quarterback.
Well,
at the 13th
okay, we can draft a quarterback, but I'm going to
Are you?
Kurt
Yes.
Cousins.
You have a quarterback?
Listen.
I'll draft not with the 13th
I'm
pick.
going.
come
I'm
on,
going to
man.
try to get Kirk Cousins. If I know
Yeah.
you just said
I
something,
love Kirk Cousins.
I'm going with Kirk Cousins. If
I like
that's a
it.
backup plan, hey Kurt, what do you want?
Yeah.
I'll pay Kirk Cousins more than Sam Bradford.
Absolutely. I
So
will.
that's what I'm getting
He's
at.
younger, and
if
he's
he knows,
his 1 full year has
you
been
got-
better than any league.
and
any
you
year
got
Bradford's
and what
had.
did you just say? You got to be in love, basically. You
Right.
got to be in love with him. So if I'm in love,
not in love with him.
Okay,
Maybe you
but I'm
are,
saying
Ralph.
if you're
Who,
in
Kirk
But,
Cousins?
no, Bradford. I'm just saying, I'm not
okay,
in love with
okay,
him, so I don't give him
but
that money.
but you said you'll be in love with Kirk Cousins.
I would love it, yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
so
Listen, I'm not giving Bradford $100 million for 6 years, 7 years. I'm giving him the Alex Smith contract.
Kirk Cousins.
Okay, great.
Kirk Cousins is smart. He can
He
read
is
the defense.
smart.
If
He is smart.
And he's a pocket passer.
If I can get Bradford,
Oh.
if I could get Bradford for Alex Smith money, maybe this is a different conversation.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just being realistic. I know what his agent was asking for at the beginning of last season.
$100
and last
million.
Last season,
Yeah.
he was ready to retire with knee injuries. So if he was asking for $25 million at the end of last season, I can't imagine what he's
Right.
asking for now.
And that threw me off when, as soon as I found out the reports that he was planning on retiring before the Eagles, made the Rams an offer for Nick Foles in a second-round draft pick. I'm like, oh, my God. So they could have released this guy, and we could have got him for nothing, but we gave him a second-round draft pick?
I'll tell you who I'll take a look at.
Jesus.
I'll tell you who I took a look at. You want a transitional guy? There's a guy in Tampa Bay right now. You cannot be high on him all you want. I'm not the highest on him either, but you just talk about transition. How about Mike Glennon, who's never going to see the field out in Tampa Bay? And we saw 1 year. He's 6'7", was drafted in the 3rd round. You saw 1 year out of him out there in Tampa Bay.
I love 6'7" quarterback.
At the very least, it's worth me taking a shot just to transition, even if he's not my answer.
Oh,
Great.
shit.
We
Listen,
didn't have our
if the
answer
Eagles
anyway.
don't go-
I'm willing to look any direction to
If
just
the
transition
Eagles
into
don't
the future.
go into the draft with a quarterback, they're taking a quarterback at the 13th pick, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, but Ralph, but you can't, because again, you can't just take a guy
Yeah, I'm
just
not
because you
doing that.
feel like you need a quarterback.
I'm not doing that.
Well, it's the Eagles, and they're going to do it.
I'm not doing that.
Maybe they will. I'm just saying, if you're Doug Peterson and you're in love with Paxton Lynch or you're in love with Connor Cook,
You gotta be in
if
love.
you're in love
Yes,
with one of those
I agree,
quarterbacks
Zach.
that's on the board at 13,
Well, it's going to show
take 'em
Friday.
all day.
It's going to show Friday.
I'm not in love with Paxton
Obviously,
Lynch.
Andy
Gonna
Reid was
show
in love with
Friday.
Donovan McNabb,
And he took him
and he
too.
took him over Ricky
Williams.
Ricky Williams. Yeah.
It's all going to show Friday, boys.
And what
It's all
happened with
gonna
Ricky
show
Williams?
Friday.
Ricky Williams was too busy on tour with Lenny Kravitz smoking pot. I mean, we
Now-
all know how that happened.
Ralph, now to your theory, if you're talking about will I draft a Connor Cook with the 13th pick of the second
No,
round?
I'm
if he's
not
there,
doing that.
I'll draft. Well, no, hold on though. I'm not drafting a quarterback at 13, but if there's a quarterback that's there with the 13th pick in the second round, third round, anything, I'll think there for the same reason that we're talking about for a guy like Glennon or Hoyer. At least now you have a transitional. You have something to transition. Ralph, let's be honest with me. You look at any of the quarterbacks that are going to go in the first round, and you think you have a franchise quarterback. Realistically,
I think
No.
Carson.
not Wentz or Goff, because
Not in this draft.
they're not going to get the 13 because both of them are projected top 5 picks. Where we're picking at 13, do you see any of
No.
the other guys available?
Nope.
As franchise guys.
I just want this quarterback situation just done and over with.
But that's not a reason to draft him at 13,
no,
Ralph.
no.
I can't
no.
just draft
Listen,
back.
I
Please,
just
no,
want the
please.
quarterback
No.
situation over and done with, so we
God,
can stop
please,
talking
no.
about the quarterback situation. Okay?
Jeez.
My God, man.
Look,
Go
Ralph
out and
wants
get
it over
Kirk
with.
Cousins. I posted on Facebook.
I'll do that.
As soon as Kirk Cousins
I'll
ended
do
his
that.
talk.
I'll
I
be
said,
in
if,
love with him.
if the Eagles are not going to call Kirk Cousins, I'll pick up the
And
phone
that's gonna-
and call Kirk
And
Cousins.
not only that, that'll drive the Redskins fans
Road trip to
crazy. Their fan base would go nuts.
I'll give Kirk Cousins $100 million because he's worth it and he's smart.
Road trip to D.C.
Jeez. Yo, let's talk about other one. Antonio Cromartie.
I love him.
go.
All right, let me ask you
Sign him
something.
right now.
Would you do a $3.5 million?
Yes.
Okay, $3.5 million.
Yes.
Rob Povia just texted us, Mr. Povia from the Hockey Happy Hour. Kirk Cousins is a bum, except he spelled bum with a B, like dumb. So, I
man.
bum B-U-M-B. I don't really know. I can't know if we can count.
How
this as
old is Kirk
credible.
Cousins? What is he, 28?
He's 20. He's 25.
25?
That's
Oh, that's even
young.
better. That's even
But
better.
That's young,
Rob
boys.
says Kirk Cousins is a bum. You're better off with Bradford. I could disagree. I disagree with that completely.
And what does Kirk Cousins love?
Maybe Cousins isn't
Tight
your
ends.
answer.
What did we
know.
just sign?
Maybe-
Tight ends.
Maybe
I know.
Cousins isn't your answer.
Yo, against the Eagles, Jordan Reed
Yeah.
ate
I
us
know.
up,
He loves
man.
tight ends.
Ate us up.
Zach Ertz would be phenomenal with Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins
Oh, I agree.
as his quarterback.
Yup.
The only reason I disagree with that is Cousins has had one full year as a starter. It was last year, and it's better than any year Bradford's
Yeah.
ever had in 5 years of trying to start in this
It's
league.
insane, dude. It's
I know.
insane.
I think the numbers speak for themselves.
Listen,
I got
I
it.
just
but-
want,
better player.
I just want
He
the
did
Eagles
play
to get
better down the stretch. I mean, the guy was hurt for 2 years. He came back. I got it.
That's
okay.
fine, but even when he was healthy, he never had a year.
No.
That was
He's winning. He was
It's
winning.
a
He's winning
different-
5 in
it's
primetime
and
games.
It's a different system.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, okay, I got
I
what you're
know.
saying.
he played under Pat Shermer, the prototypical quarterback system in St. Louis, and he still couldn't have a good year. So
Listen,
how about
I-
you just say it.
I just want-
Marcus Colston.
I
Yeah.
just want the Eagles to have this quarterback situation done and over with before the draft. Okay, that's all I want.
Okay. I don't think it's
And
gonna
then if
I
you
don't think
take Jalen
I don't
Smith
think
at
I
the
don't think that's
13th
going to
pick.
happen though. Tell you the truth.
No, it's not gonna happen. 'cause
Marcus
Bradford's-
Colston, fellas, bring him in.
I'll just give him a look.
Give him a look.
Give him
Yeah,
a
I
look.
mean the guy's
Give
a
him a
veteran.
tryout.
I mean,
We're going to pay him peanuts. So he's going to get the veterans minimum.
Right.
Yeah.
Bring him in. Why not?
Right.
Who cares?
Walter Thurman, I think that's a must.
Oh yeah.
That's
Well,
a must.
biggest
Yeah,
must.
Walter Thurman. We'll get to that in a minute because I know you had a report on that he could possibly be on his way out the door. We
Yeah.
got to take a quick break for station identification. A2DRadio.com.
You're listening to A2D Radio. A2D Radio. A2D Radio. At A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com. I just get another text from Rob Povia. He stinks. Bradford's way more accurate. Okay. Yeah, but Bradford, in order to be more accurate, has to actually be on the field. And, I mean, again, that's the other reason I'm concerned about a $100 million contract. I don't give a $100 million contract to somebody that's been healthy for a year and a half out of 6 years in the league. I don't know how I feel about that. He only played 14 games last year.
Right.
You know, if he would have played 16, maybe it's a different conversation, but he didn't. So I don't
think
I don't know.
But there's
listen, I
reports
think-
now that are saying that Walter Thurman. You want to get back on Walter Thurman?
Oh,
that,
yeah,
uh,
do it.
he might be out of the door.
Oh,
he
God.
might be out.
Let's
It
see.
depends on what the Eagles give him.
Well, he wants paid.
Malcolm
he's
Jenkins,
tested
even the
free
players, Zach Ertz been saying, Malcolm Jenkins been saying, all the big time players in the Eagles been saying that they want Thurman back. He was a big part of the Eagles
Oh, yes, he
secondary,
was.
Well, I
man.
think that's a smart signing, but it wouldn't
It is.
surprise me because we keep talking about an Andy system, and now I'll be negative about the Andy system. Andy, I mean, he never did anything to try to replace Brian Dawkins. Lito Shepard and Sheldon Brown, they got to the end of their tenure, and he kind of just was like, don't need cornerbacks.
And they could have replaced Brian Dawkins
know.
with who did we
Yeah,
say?
exactly.
Earl
You
Thomas.
know, I don't need
Yeah.
cornerback. And
Yup.
then Trotter left, and he decided that Mark Simoneau could be his middle linebacker, and that was terrible. And that's why Trotter came back in 2004 because Mark Simoneau stunk, So it wouldn't surprise me if he's like, yeah, but we don't need him to win. Like, you don't, Peterson? You don't need Walter Thurman to win?
right.
He's a heck of a safety. Heck, switching back over the cornerback, what makes him even better is how versatile he is. He can play corner, he can play safety.
And the
Yeah, that's
Seahawks let him go. Then he went to New York.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, here's another one. I'm done. By the way, guys, I mentioned this earlier. I'm so done with Oregon Duck players.
Yeah.
I'm just so tired of them. But they're reporting right now why Oregon quarterback Vernon Adams would make sense for the Eagles.
Well,
please don't do it.
Vernon Adams stinks. Let's
Yeah,
just
he
get
is.
that out the way.
Please
but
don't do
I'll
it.
swing this back to what I was trying to talk about with Ralph and with you earlier. We talked about a contingency plan. This is why I really do not. I really think if I've got to just try to connect
Do
the
you
dots
trust
here.
Doug Peterson?
Well, we talked about that when we first had him. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, but I mean, I haven't seen anything yet. You know what I mean? I'm kind of that way with anybody. I'm not going to trust anybody.
You got to give him a chance, but
them.
the guy was a high school coach 6 years ago.
You know, I mean,
let's be honest.
I'll be willing to give the guy a
love
chance.
it. I love it. I love
but
it.
I'm just saying from this angle, if I've got to connect the dots here and try to put 2 and 2 together, and let's just try to be smart and just put 2 and 2 together and connect dots.
Only the Eagles.
Ralph, just think, bud. Just think. 5, 6 years from now, you'll be an NHL head coach.
I know.
If I'm just trying to connect the dots, to me, what I'm connecting tells me, one, that I don't think they're signing Bradford long term. At the very moment, he's going to get a franchise tag. If he's back, it's under a franchise tag. He's not getting a long term deal. I think, but even more so, I feel like they actually want to move away from that angle, and unlike what Ralph's talking about, drafting somebody at 13. Vernon Adams, talking about Connor Cook. Chase Daniel was talked about earlier. I really think that's the direction Peterson wants to, a transitional period. I want a transition. I want somebody that can be my quarterback this year until we can get my guy, Chad Kelly, next year. At least I hope that's how he's thinking. Chad Kelly comes from the NFL
Deshaun
bloodline.
Watson.
I'd be happy with Deshaun Watson, too. That's fine.
Yeah.
But Chad Kelly's Jim
I've been
Kelly's
watching
nephew,
some
the NFL
highlight
bloodlines.
videos.
Come on.
Ever since you said Chad Kelly, Zach, I've been watching this kid can play.
Oh, he can
ball,
absolutely
dude.
play. The dude was a mental case, when he was younger, but give me a 17-year-old that isn't a hot-headed mental case, especially if you're 17 and had the talent that Chad Kelly had, and your uncle was Jim Kelly. I might be a little hot-headed, cocky son of a bitch too. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I might.
Right.
But if the Eagles, what I want for the draft for the Eagles is that if the Eagles have this quarterback situation, I've been saying it all day, I'm going to keep on saying it. The Eagles have the quarterback situation all tied up, and they say something like Bradford signs like a 2-year, so I don't know, whatever, how much money. I'm not signing Bradford more than 3 years, okay?
Yeah.
He's playing it laid down.
Then you're going Fletcher Cox after that.
Alex Smithfield, phenomenal.
Yeah. I'm
Realistically,
not going 3 or
don't
more
think it
years
happens.
with Bradford. I can give him 2 or 3 years, but no more than 3.
It'd be a miracle if that
If
happened.
the Eagles-
I agree.
I mean,
if the Eagles had the
it'd be
quarterback
awesome.
situation all locked up and they know what they're going to do, I'm taking Jalen Smith, 13th pick overall, that linebacker from Notre Dame.
We'll get more into that when we come back. We got to take a break here. This is A2DRadio.com, the rundown on A2DRadio.com, and as always, we are brought to you. Jesus. My goodness. See, this is where we go. We got people eating reads, and now I can't get to my read. I can't even get out clean. Now we sound stupid. Jesus. Brought to you by the Philly Sports Bar located in Runnymede, New Jersey. And we'll get the rest of that read out on the other side of the break because it's pissing me off.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by Romeo's Termite and Pest Control. Family owned and operated, Romeo's only employs the safest, most effective methods to rectify your situation. Whether it's at your house or at your commercial residence, no matter what the concern may be, they'll get the job done. Raccoons, squirrels, bed bugs, termites, you name it, they'll take care of it. Satisfaction guaranteed. Give them a call at 856-341-3927 or look them up on Facebook at Romeo's Pest Control or visit their website at www.romeospestcontrol.com, your local pest control provider.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet, located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey, with over 40 years of customer experience giving the latest in uniforms and equipment to sports enthusiasts of baseball, softball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, and much more. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or send them an email at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit their website at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all of your sporting needs.
The Rundown, only on A2DRadio.com.
This is the Rundown on A2DRadio.com. I figured out what happened. Mr. Povia is listening. Mr. Povia, this is your fault. Okay, Rob Povia, the Hockey Happy Hour, this is your fault because you texted my phone. And when you texted my phone and then I answered your text to respond, it exited me out of my Gmail account and all of my live reads. So apparently, Mr. Povia is to blame for why I wasn't able to get that read off clean as we went to our last commercial break, as I was trying to say. We are brought to you by the Phillies Sports Bar, located at 31 South Black Horse Pike in Runnymede, New Jersey, at 856-939-4322. You can give them a call, or you can email them at info@phillydiner.com, or visit their website, www.phillydiner.com. And since I couldn't get them in clean as we went to break, let me get another one in here. Coming back from break, we're also brought to you by Martino Roofing. They've got 15 years of roofing experience. They're proudly serving Sewell, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and the entire South Jersey area. Give them a call at 609-792-5103 or email them at martinoroofing@comcast.net. Visit their website, Martino Roofing LLC.
Well, boys.
Ralph, you go first.
Well,
Ralph.
boys, Ian Rappaport is at, I guess, the Combine, and I guess they have all the coaches, talking, and Doug Peterson went on at 4:15 today talking. And
let me tease you up real quick for that, okay? Because I remember I said, give me my blanket and pillow. That sounds like a snooze fest. Let me take a nap. After the news you're about to hear now, we might have all, kind of wished we were taking a nap during that
with
press
the Eagles
conference.
situation at quarterback, it looks like that, Chase Daniel might become an Eagle. Doug Peterson says Chase Daniel is ready to be a starter, given an opportunity. Says he is proven he can take over if necessary. Which means,
Can we have
boys.
Chip Kelly back?
Which means, hey.
Can we have Chip Kelly
Can
back?
I push my bullshit button real quick? I'm pushing
dude.
it. I'm pushing the bullshit button. Let me be clear about something. There was people, there was people, because, those of us that follow the league, Sean, I know you're somebody that follows all of the NFL.
Yeah.
There was people, at least in the Kansas City camp, that felt that Chase Daniel was the better option at quarterback for them over Alex Smith just because he was running that offense better. I don't necessarily disagree. What I saw from Chase Daniel in that offense compared to what I saw from Alex Smith, maybe you have a point. All I'm saying is Alex Smith stinks.
Yeah.
So I don't really care if Chase Daniel could run a better offense than Alex Smith. But listen, on that point, we talk about a transitional thing. I mean, I think we'd all be happy.
That's his contingency plan.
If Alex Smith was here, we'd all be happy for like a 2-year period to transition into something better.
Yeah.
So I might not be opposed to it. I'm just saying I'll push my bullshit button that he's ready to step in and start right now.
Well, it sounds like Chase Daniels is your next quarterback.
Now, I
for
got
the Eagles.
something. After you, I got something there.
Right.
I'm ready to go with Brian
Ian
Hoyer and
Rappaport.
Josh McCown, so I'll go with Chase Daniel.
And this is also reported by Ian Rappaport. Ian Rappaport. He reported there's 5 teams that are in the punch for RG3.
In the punch?
Yes. Chiefs, 49ers, Broncos, Dallas Cowboys, and your Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
They're the 5.
Yeah, I don't buy into it.
Looks
Read
like
those
Mr.
5 again.
Brodos.
Read those 5 again.
Looks like Ryan's.
Chiefs, 49ers, Broncos, Dallas Cowboys, and your Philadelphia Eagles.
I could see the 49ers and
the 49ers is
the Cowboys.
I could see that happening because the 49ers don't even know what's going to happen.
Gabbert's out there.
And you have Colin Kaepernick that wants out.
Well,
Kaepernick even said he wants out.
Well, that's 180 since that was before Kelly got there. When Kelly got there, they both expressed interest in working with one another. So I could see Kaepernick being back in that picture. But still, it's not like you know who's going to be your starter, so why not just add Robert Griffin III to that picture as well? I mean, I'm the guy that's sitting here saying I'm okay with going with Brian Hoyer just for next year as my starter. So would I be opposed to RG3 here? No, but I don't really want to deal with that cancer either, and I just think the guy's a bad teammate.
I agree.
I don't think
really,
he
can ruin our locker room even more. I agree.
I don't want to. I don't want to deal with that because you know how he's gonna sit here and as soon as he steps into town and as soon as he steps off that plane and he's thinking, if Doug Peterson just thinking, let's see what we have with him. If anything, if at the very least, if he stinks, he's just a transitional process into something else next year. Which I've talked all about the transitional process. I feel like that should have been the title of the show today. We've talked about it so much. Mm-hmm. But RG3, you know what he's going to add? He's going to step in and from day one think, I can still start in this league. I'm still a starting quarterback. I'm going to prove that here. And 4 weeks in, he could have a hot first 4 weeks, and he's going to be demanding, this, that. I want this. I still feel I'm a starting quarterback. You sign me to a long-term deal. I don't want anything to do with that. The guy thinks so much more of himself than what he actually is. I just don't want it. I don't want nothing to do with any of it.
I don't even know what the hell.
But they're the five.
Now, you guys hate Chase Daniel. I'm not saying I think he's a franchise quarterback, but I mean,
He's not a franchise quarterback.
No, he's
my
not.
opinion.
He's not even a starter.
I'll say the same thing. Yeah, but neither's Brian Hoyer on most teams. I'll say the same thing about Chase Daniel that I was saying about a guy like Hoyer.
Listen, I would rather have Robert Griffin III over Chase Daniels.
Well, from a talent perspective, I agree.
Jeez.
From a coachability standpoint, I want nothing to do with Robert Griffin III. You cannot coach him. You cannot tell him how to play a system. He plays Robert Griffin III ball. We're either going to run a Robert Griffin III system or I don't play. So as far as Doug Peterson goes, I have no confidence in Doug Peterson being able to coach him up. Yeah,
Kirk Cousins. KC.
Yeah, I love Kirk Cousins.
Listen, I posted.
I think we all agree on that one.
If the Eagles aren't calling, I'll freaking call for the Eagles.
Listen, I'll say the same thing about Daniel that I said about Hoyer. If Chase Daniel's my guy this year,
why aren't the Eagles even offering Kirk Cousins any money?
Because he's not officially hit the
market.
Right,
he didn't hit the market.
He hasn't officially hit the market.
What is that?
2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks. Yeah.
It's March 1st.
Oh, this is
yeah,
gonna be
March 7th. Yeah, I think the beginning of March.
I mean, like with Daniel, just like I said with Hoyer, if Hoyer is the quarterback here this year, and it's just a transition into Chad Kelly, Deshaun Watson, or something else completely different next year, not opposed to it. Mm-hmm. Does that mean I think we're going to be a good team? No, but I mean I'm not opposed to us being a 7-9, 6-10 team and getting a better pick for next year, just so we can have a better chance to get a guy like Chad Kelly. That's fine. We're not that far off from winning as soon as we have that quarterback piece in place. But just like I said with Hoyer, if Hoyer ends up being the quarterback the next year after this year, just like with Daniel, that's a problem.
Ralph, I thought you were going to.
1 year
Ralph,
thing.
you slapped my hand. I thought you were going to tell me good news.
It's a
You're making
thing.
me depressed right now.
Listen, I won't even take Chase Daniels when I'm playing Madden, and that's bad.
I'm just saying, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Forget about whether it's Chase Daniels. If Doug Peterson's thinking from a transitional spin, any of those guys, if they're here for more than 1 year, that's a problem. You cannot say Chase Daniel. But Peterson cannot bring Daniel in, have him play this year, and then say, you know what, we think he could be that guy for us, and then he's also on my roster going into next year's training camp. No. Get the hell out of here. Yeah. It's a 1 year transitional period to transition into the guy you want into the future. Yeah. And it doesn't matter whether it's Daniel, Hoyer, McCown, doesn't matter which one of those it is. That's got to be the case. You're transitioning into your future. That's all.
I want to ask you something to both of you. Do you think Greg Hardy is now going to be out of football?
Yeah.
He needs to be, but
I mean, do you think? I mean, obviously, if the Dallas Cowboys, are doing away with you, obviously. I mean, do you think the Raiders are going to bring him back or the Bengals?
This is a scumbag league. Alden Smith still has a job.
Right.
Talent.
AP still has a job.
They'll find a way to. They'll find. The guy's going to have a job until what we talked about last week, where the NFL and the CBA and the union can come to an agreement to put some type of system in place to allow there to be some type of arbitration system, with a third-party arbitrator, whatever the case might be, to send these types of guys with these disciplinary issues through that system. This is always going to be the case. You're going to have a broken system.
Right,
yes,
Rice is gone, though. And you said last week that the NFL really cracked down on him.
Yeah. The NFL could try to make an effort from within to try to blackball some guy out of the league, but I think if that was the case, they would have already been making that effort. He wouldn't have signed a deal with Dallas, wouldn't have played with them last year, and let's be honest, somebody's going to pay him $85 million just because. Because you need a pass rusher. Somebody's going to pay him $85 million. Somebody's going to be willing. Pete Carroll, it seems like scumbag Rejuvenation USA up there in Seattle. Yeah. Every scumbag that's ever existed in the league comes up there and gets a second chance. Sidney Rice got a second chance up there.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch got his second chance up there. That's why he's a Hall of Famer, because he ended up going to Seattle. So I don't know. I think there's plenty of teams that would take a shot on him. Yeah. Unfortunately,
I don't know, man.
I'm with you. I want him out the league. I just think there's plenty of teams. Let's transition over to the combine side of this. because who are you guys excited to watch?
Jalen Smith.
The NFL Combine.
Jalen Smith.
Starting Friday.
Well, that's you guys.
Jalen,
you guys called him right off the
I got
bat.
2 people. I gotta go for my boy. I gotta see my boy Connor Cook do some work in this combine, and Jalen Smith is the also one. Yo, the day you said Jalen Smith, I mean, you locked me on, and if the Eagles got that quarterback situation all locked up, you take Jalen Smith. I mean, he's the 3rd prospect. He drops down the 15th. The 15th. And he's a 3rd prospect.
We've talked about.
And he's a 3rd top prospect.
We've talked about this.
And he drops down the 15th
over the last couple
If he's
weeks.
there, snag him, boys.
We talked about this over the last couple of weeks, and even more last week with when we broke down kind of the mock draft, the latest mock
and
draft.
D'Amico Ryans is gone now, so there's 3 linebackers.
And what I've been saying from the beginning, I think D'Amico Ryans is out of the picture, so you have 3 linebackers. So regardless, you have room now to add a 4th linebacker. You need that depth. You don't just roll into the season with 3 linebackers like that. You don't have just 3 starters. You need
and we don't know how
player.
Kiko Lyons is going.
Exactly, he's still a question mark. You have 2 starters, and you still have a question mark with Kiko. So But I love Jalen Smith. But as we talked about
you guys
last
said it
week,
from
look at all the talent.
Second week since I've been on here.
Look at all the talent that's going to be around us there at 13, or the possible talent. Vernon Hargraves, a shutdown corner from Florida. You talk about Conklin, the offensive tackle from Michigan State. We really need an offensive line.
Yes, I agree with
and
that.
if we don't want to throw money at a Cordy Glenn in free agency and rather sound an Alshon Jeffrey, maybe Conklin's the guy that you draft at that position. Just
go after
he's available.
Treadwell.
Jairi Evans, I believe, is available, and I know he's kind of on that Jason Peters end of his career, but the guy was a top guard in this league with New Orleans for all those years.
I got one for you.
So,
or, I mean, how many years? I know this guy's old, but he's kind of a stud. He's pretty good. Joe Staley from the 49ers.
Yeah, there you go with Staley.
No, he's not a free agent, though, I don't think, right? He's still on a contract?
I don't think he is.
No, but I think what we learned over the past couple of years with San Francisco is anybody can become a free agent.
Anybody. Even Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly just, thank you for your service. See you later, buddy.
Alden Smith, there was a boop.
Yep.
Alden Smith is an interesting name because he's actually a free agent. He is going to hit the open market. Now, on this list of 100 top free agents that we're talking about, he's listed all the way down here at 100 for obvious reasons.
Yep.
You're taking the talent side of it out of it. You kind of need to get the guy off the field under control before you can ever tap into any of that talent.
Even that Super Bowl run, he was unreal.
But think of what type of steal you could get. You're
God.
paying him peanuts compared to the talent that he could end up being for you.
You're going to have him and Fletcher Cox?
My one concern is, though, that's my one concern, though, is he's not a 4-3 linebacker. He's a 3-4 linebacker, would have to play 4-3 defensive end, and I just don't think he's that guy. He doesn't fit this system. But that's freaky when you've got that type of talent out there. Chase Daniel, our boy, Chase Daniel's listed as the 96th best free agent.
Oh, please don't do it.
Listen, if Treadmill, what was it, Treadwell?
Treadmill.
Yeah, Treadmill.
If Treadmill's available, if Laquan Treadwell's available, what are you taking him?
13? Yeah, if Jalen Smith is going in the air.
Well, see that's what and this is why I'm with.
And that would be two. That would be last 2 years. That would be a wide receiver in the first round.
And this is why I'm not taking Paxton Lynch at 13, even if he's there. When Sean, I know me and you tried to touch on this last week. Look at all the playmakers, both defense and offense, that are going to be around you at 13. From the Jalen Smith to the Vernon Hargraves to the Laquan Treadwell to his name is slipping my Jarvis something other from Georgia, the Von Miller clone. Georgia, 35-pound linebacker that is a Von Miller type of clone as far as the pass rusher that he's going to be. There's so much
game-changing playmakers.
Game-changing playmakers surrounding us at 13. I said we could take a list of any of the 5 guys that we just mentioned, and I think we'd all be happy.
Yeah, I agree.
You take 5 or 6 guys that are going to be there at 13, and I think we'd all be like, you know what? He's a playmaking type of talent. What we don't want is to take a Paxton Lynch and for it to end up to be a Brandon Graham in the year Earl Thomas is drafted situation, where you take a Paxton Lynch because we really need a quarterback, and then he doesn't end up becoming anything, and the 6 guys that all went around him become superstars.
Yep.
That's what we don't need. I don't want to draft Brandon Graham over Earl Thomas again, and that's what I'd be afraid if we drafted Paxton Lynch, what we would end up doing. Especially with Ralph, we could take your same approach next year when there's better quarterbacks in the class next year compared to this year.
I agree.
We could just fly by the hell. If your theory, okay, and at the end of the world, if you guys really want Bradford that much and don't like anybody else, you franchise tag him and fly by the seat of the pants with him, and you're back in the same position
next year, the quarterback class is going to be a lot better than this year.
Absolutely.
So you go with a game-changing playmaker at 13 right now.
I need a playmaker. Absolutely.
And Jalen Smith is one of them.
Well, he is. Absolutely. He's a playmaker. And he's a and I'll compare. I think I made this little comparison last week with Kuechly. I don't think him and Kuechly are exact. Well, Smith is much more athletic, and I think more, a little bit more along that line of linebacker, the athletic type. But what he does that Luke Kuechly does really well is he's disruptive. Even if he's not making a play.
Yeah, Luke Kuechly's all over the place, though.
Even if Luke Kuechly's not making a play, he's always disrupting the play.
Yeah.
And Jalen Smith is that type of player. If he's not making a play, he's disrupting.
So you're going to tell me we can have another Luke Kuechly?
Well,
there's a potential that we could have another Luke Kuechly in Jalen Smith.
You want me to combine him to what type of I feel like he can. I think they're different players. But I think he could be the same type of dominant force at the middle linebacker position that a guy like Kuechly has been, for the Panthers. I think they're different players. Kuechly's a lot more a lot mental, studies, a lot more of a mental, always knowing what's going to happen before it happens because he's so good at studying film and picking up on that side of it. I call him the best.
Is he kind of like is he a mix between an Urlacher though?
Well, he's smaller than Urlacher. Again, he's more athletic, but. He's that guy that's going to play middle linebacker at 245 pounds that can disrupt everything with the athleticism of
He's
somebody.
what you were hoping with Kiko Alonso was going to be.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
I'll agree with that. I mean, he's the reason he was the third overall player had everything to do with his athleticism. They were saying you don't find that type of athleticism at the middle linebacker position. But at 245 pounds, the athleticism to go along with how disruptive he can be, what you've got is a dominant force.
Mm-hmm.
And he might be a dominant force in a little bit different way that Kuechly or Ray Lewis or somebody like that ever was at the middle linebacker position, but I think he can be that type of dominant presence for you. I'm not calling him a Hall of Famer because you got to do it for 10 years.
You and my buddy John Brenner are like the college freaks, what I mean? You guys know everything about college football.
I think
you guys
he's
die college
by
football.
far he's the best linebacker prospect
He
available.
is, man.
And
you got to go get him at the 13th pick if he's there.
He's probably the best player available, arguably the best player available on the board if you pick him at 13. And it's also a position of need.
Then it's a done deal.
So
the bottom line is listen,
and it's a position of need.
You take the best player
That's what it is. That's the bottom line. The best player available, you got to steal him right there.
But that's going to be to each their own, and that's why we talk about Treadwell being there, Hargraves. Depending on who you are, they're so close in town.
And the needs that you need on your team.
Imagine if the Eagles trade up.
Yeah,
they had their 13th pick, but they make another trade up to the 15th pick. And then they trade.
They have the 13th pick. They could trade up.
So you're saying they trade up?
No, they select the 13th pick, right?
Oh, okay, and then they trade back into the first round.
And they trade back into the first round for the 15th, 16th pick, and they get that wide receiver from Ole Miss.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say this.
No,
trade the 13th pick. No. How about this? How about this scenario? I like scenarios. Trade the 13th pick, get a second-round draft pick back. Okay, right? You get their first-round draft pick because they, depending on who wants that pick. So you're going to get a first-round draft pick, and then you get the second-round draft pick because they want the player that they want. They don't think he's going to be there. All right? And then you still get Jalen Smith, and you get a second-round draft pick. How do you like that scenario?
Yeah, now we're really getting into fantasy scenarios.
I know, but I'm thinking thinking outside the box.
Fantasy man.
Fantasy man, yeah.
You're the type of person that goes to Phillies fantasy camp back in the day, just for the fantasy side of it.
You always got to think about different, scenarios. I mean, there are some dum-dums in organizations that would do something like that.
Howie Roseman.
True.
We're going to take one more break. Final break of the rundown on A2DRadio.com. We're brought to you by Harry's Contracting for professional home improvement. Give Harry Unst a call in Ewing, New Jersey at 609-638-6336. Email him harryshomeimprovements@gmail.com.
You're listening to the worldwide leader of real talk, A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by Martino Roofing. With more than 15 years of roofing experience, they have all the services that you need, whether it's new construction, tear-offs, replacements, or re-roofs for your residential or commercial business. They will provide a detailed service in a timely and professional manner. So you can give them a call for a free consultation at 609-792-5103. Send them an email at martinoroofing@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.martinoroofingllc.com. The number again is 609-792-5103. Martino Roofing.
This is Het, your dude with the tunes from A to Z Classic Rock. When I'm hungry and in the mood for pizza or killer sandwich, I head to Legends Tap, located at 318 High Street in Burlington, New Jersey. Pleasant atmosphere, delicious pizza, kickin' sandwiches, great iced tea, soda, or if you prefer an adult beverage, they have that also. 318 High Street, Burlington, New Jersey, Legends Tap, the best pizza this side of the Delaware.
This is Tom Arnone, owner and founder of HUDRadio.com. What if I told you I knew the best caterer in the business? Well, I'm not going to lie to you. It's Obie's Catering. You can contact Obie's Catering at cateringbyobie@yahoo.com or give Chris O'Brien a call at 856-534-8410. From graduations to wedding rehearsals to just if you need food cooked in your house. He'll do it all. He's trying to change the world one dish at a time. That's Obie's Catering. Chris O'Brien, 856-534-8410. Tell him Tommy A from HUDRadio.com sent you, and you'll get 20% off.
You're listening to The Rundown, only on A2DRadio.com.
This is The Rundown, A2DRadio.com, brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, on the campus of King's Christian High School. Give them a call, 856-839-3434. Visit ScanzanoSports.com for more information. 35,000 square foot hitting facility up at that place. I was up there last Monday coaching my 14U team up with Tommy, and beautiful, beautiful facility. And, it's just phenomenal. You got nephews, cousins, anything that into baseball. That's the place to send them for next level training. But since we're throwing around fantasy ideas and Sean wants to kick around fantasy options and so does Ralph, I'll throw around a fantasy option. Peyton Manning decides not to retire.
Oh, yeah.
And the Broncos move on with Brock Osweiler.
I'll
And now
do it.
Manning is our transitional.
I'll
Manning
do it
is
for
our
1 year.
transitional quarterback
For 1 year?
into
Yes.
next year.
For 1 year.
Yes.
All right,
I'll
now-
do it for 1 year.
Now we're crazy.
1 year.
What? I would do it too, but come on, it's not happening. We all know. He was retired. He was retired before this year even started.
I understand,
Let's be
but you
honest.
said fantasy.
Yeah, I know.
I would do
Yeah.
it for 1 year.
If that was even possible, I think we would all do it.
1
but-
year, $2 million.
No, he ain't going to do that. $2 million.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's
is.
not signing a $2 million
He
deal.
ain't going to do
He'd
that.
rather retire.
Yeah,
Papa
he's going to retire.
Papa John
Right.
Snyder's paying him $2 million.
He wants at least 20,
like
dude.
Papa John Snyder's paying him $2 million.
He
ain't
wants
doing
at
that.
least. He wants at least 20.
Then I'm not
You
doing
might be able
it
to get
then.
away with 15.
I'll be the best GM in the world.
You're
dude.
not going to give.
And he
Peyton-
could go one
Hold
on. He can go one-on-one
Hold
with his
on.
brother too.
Hold on. We're going to give Sam Bradford $25 million if we give him the franchise tag. We'd pay him $25 million just this year. Yet you wouldn't give Peyton Manning that $20 million
I would do it.
just for this year? I
Yes.
think I'm giving $1 million
Yes.
to Manning
The
before.
guy
Bradford.
throws more freaking ducks than anybody
Dude, I'm
else.
doing it.
That's fine. In this system, he doesn't need to throw the ball
Yo,
more than 10 yards downfield.
Exactly, and he's afraid he'll pick you apart.
It's the ultimate
He's
West Coast
come on. I'm
offense.
doing it. I'm doing it. Yeah.
Giving him $2
Yes,
million,
I agree.
bro.
Yes.
$2 million.
I'm
$2
doing
million.
And you get a free box of Papa John's every time you
That's,
score a
I'm
touchdown.
doing it. Oh. Well, I hate Papa John's.
Every
I can't
time
believe they're still.
The Eagles were going to do like this advertisement thing. Remember they used to do the Flyers every time you
Yeah.
scored on a power
Right.
play. A
Right.
case of Tasty Cakes.
Right.
Every
right.
time Peyton Manning throws a touchdown, we're giving you a free
What is
Papa
it,
John's
Natty?
coffee.
What is
and,
it
and
now?
now,
Was it-
and,
they score was it
four goals, you get McDonald's, and
Yeah,
they
you
have
get
the McDonald's
McDonald's.
bag jumping up and down on the
Ew.
Titantron.
McDonald's? That's not even like, please don't. I'd be rooting for them not to score 4 goals. Please
At
don't
least
score 4
Chick-fil-A.
goals. Please don't score 4
At
goals.
least Chick-fil-A.
I don't need my McAss burger and cheese with a side of McAss fries.
They don't do that? Oh, right. Right.
Yeah, they don't really score 4 that often. I got you.
Oh, God.
I got you.
3-2s, 2-1. I agree.
We're going to move on to got 10 minutes, pretty much left in the show. So wanted to move on to something. We wanted to get to it earlier, but the free agents and the free agency and the combine was just such good conversation, and we kept that going for so long. We mentioned this, but we never really got to break it down a little bit. So we're going to wrap up the show with this, and then with the Phillies on the other side of it, because they are related. I've tied them in here. What I want to know, the question we're asking, is Malcolm Jenkins, is he the most important Eagle? You know, and this contract that he signed, is he the most important Eagle?
He is the leader of the Philadelphia Eagles. He is the leader.
And
he brings
leader-wise, but if you're not saying talent-wise, correct? Talent-wise, it's definitely Fletcher Cox.
It's all getting added in. Talent, leadership, add it all in. The whole package. Is he your most
Fletcher
important
Cox
Eagle?
is the best defensive player on the team.
Okay, so you would go with Fletcher Cox.
Definitely.
And Ralph, you're saying definitely
Malcolm
Jenkins.
Jenkins is a leader, man.
He is. He is a leader. I'm not saying he's not a leader, but I'm saying talent-wise.
Brian Dawkins was a leader. Brian Dawkins was also a Hall of Famer, and that's why he had he was the most important Eagle at that time. Jenkins is a good player. I think we could get rid of Jenkins, and to Sean's point, if Jenkins wasn't here with Fletcher Cox, getting rid of Fletcher Cox would hurt us a lot more than getting rid of Malcolm Jenkins.
Yes, it would.
And I absolutely agree with that side of it. But I think there's people in this city that have fallen in love with Malcolm Jenkins would agree with Ralph's point.
They are falling in love
that
with
they think Malcolm Jenkins is the most important Eagle.
I think so too.
Yeah, it's
a toss-up.
Yeah, it's not a bad conversation. To have.
And by the way, Aaron Nolan's gonna be the starter.
Aaron Nola.
Yeah.
Well, I think I think he can be a superstar.
Well, you're
absolutely.
just bringing kids up now. You know what I mean? To be starters.
Right,
That's our farm system.
And we'll segue the Malcolm Jenkins, him being the most important Eagle, over to what I'm talking about with the Phillies, because the similar question I was asking with the Phillies is who's the Phillies' most important youngster, and what to expect from those youngsters and from the Phillies in general this season.
Nola.
See, I like that, and Sean, I'll get your opinion here in a minute.
Okay.
But Tom and Mike had a show a couple weeks ago where they asked a similar question, and I wanted to comment with, the question they asked was, who are you most looking forward? Which Phillies youngster are you most looking forward to watching this year? And what I wanted to comment with, I'm most excited and looking forward to watching Maikel Franco take the next step. I think the guy could hit 30 home runs this year. But where I agree with Ralph is, I think it's most important that Aaron Nola takes the next step. I'm excited to watch Franco. But I think it's most vital for the Phillies that Nola takes that next step. He's going to
be the ace for the Phillies.
That is vital.
He's starting this year. He's the number one pitcher. They already said it.
No doubt.
They already said it.
Yeah. Well, he needs to be. But see, what I don't want to see is a guy like a Mark Appel, who was the player to be named later in the Houston Astros deal, who at one point was supposed to be the top pick in the draft coming out of Stanford, and then ended up falling to 8 or whatever it was because of money and signing bonuses and all that. But my whole thing is, I don't want to see them keep him down in the minors just because. Oh, well, no, I don't want to see a Franco situation where we're keeping him down there until June so we can get an extra year out of him. Bullshit. We're the Phillies, okay? That extra year, say you don't get that extra year with Franco. Okay, so pay him his $100 million earlier than you would have before. We're the Phillies. We're not a small market team like the Rays who have to worry about the Evan Longoria factor and make sure we get as long with him as possible because we know we're not going to sign him long-term afterwards. If Franco hits 30 home runs this year, I'm giving him a 7-year deal with all the money in the world right now. Just because it's going to be cheaper than what you'd be able to sign him to in 4 or 5 years. Just like I thought we should have signed Howard to a 9-year deal.
Speaking of Ryan Howard, did you hear what he said yesterday?
Yeah, well, yeah. Listen, Ryan Howard's always had a little bit of a problem where I think he's thought more of himself than I guess anybody else ever thought more about him. He's always was a phenomenal player. I mentioned the class he got added to last year. Last week I mentioned it. The class he got added to when he had those 4 years of 45-plus homers, 100.
Yeah. He's the fastest player to ever hit 200 home runs.
And what he did was monumental. And he joined a group with Barry Bonds, Babe Ruth, Sammy Sosa as the only 3 other players to ever have had 4 years of that type of And
what I told you, he's the Black Babe Ruth. That was his. That's my nickname for him.
In a lot of ways, yes. The numbers, the historical pace he was on, you could say that. But I'll give you a quick story. David Ortiz had talked about it. David Ortiz talked to him at an All-Star game the one year. And remember, David Ortiz was kind of on the decline. And then all of a sudden, Adrian Gonzalez showed up in Boston. And David Ortiz ended up having 5 more Hall of Fame years,
Right.
And David Ortiz talked about Adrian Gonzalez. He just watched him pepper, the big monster, the monster out there, at Fenway in left field and just peppering it every
Green
time.
monster.
Yeah, the green monster. You're just peppering it every time he come to the plate. Adrian
And then they
Gonzalez,
got him as a DH.
just hitting doubles, just peppering it off the green monster out there. And David Ortiz said, okay, I can do that. And heck, if I could end up doing that, I could play for another 5, 6, 7 years again. If I could just, hit, and he adjusted, and we started seeing him hit the ball to the opposite field again. And next thing you know, the next year he hit 320 with like 30 home runs again at like 37 years old. And you were like, really? Like, where'd this David Ortiz come from? He made adjustments. And one thing Ryan Howard hasn't done at any point in his career is made adjustments. And David Ortiz talked about, get closer to the plate.
He can't hit change-ups. He can't hit sliders,
I disagree with
curveballs,
that.
knuckleballs. If you throw him a fastball, he's going to put it in the stands. We all know that.
I disagree with that because I think the guy can hit change-ups, can hit breaking balls if he would have been willing to adjust in certain ways with his approach.
But why don't he don't want to when he's getting paid $25 million a year or whatever?
That's exactly why. What got me to this point? I got my $125 million contract. I got to this point playing the game the way I play it. I'm sorry, I just don't feel comfortable adjusting. Well, okay, Ryan. That's why I think his relationship with the fans has gone downhill with certain people in the tail end of his career now because people have seen him not be willing to adjust. I still love the guy because I appreciate
what
everything he did.
Yeah.
And I realize if you take him out of the middle of that lineup, you don't win that World Series. You just don't.
I touched base on this last week a little bit. You have, remember, it was the World Series, Eagles, it was the Phillies versus the Yankees, and then before the 1 o'clock game was Ryan Howard was on the sidelines with Tony Saragusa.
Yeah. And
you hear the fans, and I was at the game, but I watch all the games, but they had Tony Saragusa, and he was asking Ryan Howard questions. Well, you hear the fans in the back, PP, right, bad in practice. They're yelling at him because he has World Series at 7 o'clock at night or 8:06 at night or whatever like that. And, Brian Howard's too busy, goofing off at the Eagles game, Eagles versus Giants, and the Eagles smoked the Giants that game, by the way.
I'll take it an adjustment that personally I have been asking for him to make since 2010, and he hasn't made at any point ever, even tried to make it. I think when you go back and you watch old video of him 2006, 2007, when he's tearing things up, hitting 50 home runs, he was a lot closer to the plate than he is at any point now. And that all started 2010, 2011-ish, and I think it got else. He took that year where he kept getting hit in the elbow,
right?
That right elbow, that front elbow.
He's got scared.
It seemed like every time. Listen. I'm not going to speculate on why. All I know is I can tell you, having watched Phillies games from early point of his career up until now, at some point he moved further back from the plate than where he initially was as he started his career.
Yeah.
And even after I think people brought it to his attention, because that was one of those things David Ortiz brought to his attention and stuff. If you move closer to the plate, they're not going to have a way to beat you. You know what I mean? You're forcing them to come inside. David Ortiz telling just as well as I know, as a left, you want them to come inside. Challenge them to come in there and then just be looking for and turn on it. But the thing that became Ryan Howard's Achilles heel by the end of his career and his end of his tenure here now is that what you talked about, lefties and breaking balls down and away and him just not being able to adjust at it. Well, you can't hit that pitch because you're not close enough to the plate to hit it to begin with. How many times have you seen him flail at it? You're like, dude, he could have. He wouldn't have hit that. He wouldn't have even reached that pitch.
Yeah.
You're like, he wouldn't have even reached it. He could have.
I think sometimes he just swing. I think sometimes he just swings to just swing.
Well, listen. Take all that out of it because we can speculate all
Zach.
Okay, and that's your opinion, Ralph. I'm not going to be the guy that speculates on why. I'm just saying I don't know why, but I know for a fact the guy moved further away from the plate than where he was earlier in his career, and at some point, even when it got brought to his attention, decided he wasn't going to move closer. Well, at that point, when pitchers were figuring out that the way to get you out is breaking balls down and away to begin with, and then you move further away from the plate, and on top of that, and then at some point when you realize all they want to do is throw me stuff down and away, and you don't make the adjustment to move closer to the plate to be able to get to that pitch, that's just a problem.
And this, Zach.
That's why you end
both
up
of you
going
guys know
downhill.
this. Charlie Manuel, they thought that he was like, a more or less like a genius, a batting coach.
Right.
They were labeling him as saying, Charlie Manuel knows how to adjust players, and I just don't understand.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Where's my bullshit button at? I'll push that. Let me push. I'm slamming it because I got a personal story for you that'll prove that wrong. This be a fun story to wrap up the rundown.
Sounds good.
With. Okay. My old hitting coach, my old baseball coach in high school, Justin Cooper, and he had his own hitting clinic and all that out in Pennsylvania. So why he was ever coaching at a small private school like I went to, I have no clue. But the guy was a next-level hitting coach, worked with guys individually at his hitting clinic. And remember when Raul Ibanez went really, really steeply downhill?
Yes.
Like starting at the 2011, 2012, just completely fell off.
And he was a rail, too.
And was hitting like 220 pounds.
Right.
Well, he ends up going to work with Mr. Cooper, my old baseball coach, at his old hitting clinic, in Pennsylvania. And, he got him to be able to, instead of wanting to spin, he was just spinning like a top. You remember, you saw the same thing I was saying.
Yeah.
He's just spinning like a top. And Cooper got him to want to drive through pitches, start hitting things the other way. And if you remember, shortly after that, starting with June, he won the Player of the Week award 4 times in
the
a
Yankees.
2-month stretch.
For the Yankees.
They were reporting that he was taking steroids too.
Well, yeah, but that was when he first got it. He hit 37 home runs as a 38-year-old. And I'm talking about 2012, 2013, when he was already kind of past where he had been with us, not doing that anymore, struggling, hitting 220. He won Player of the Week award 4 times in a 3-month stretch that summer. And he had been working heavily with Justin Cooper. And one of the things I was told personally, obviously, because I got a personal relationship with the guy, was that Mr. Cooper had told me that when he asked him, Charlie Manuel's got all this credit for working firsthand with Manny Ramirez and all that, and Jim Thome out in Cleveland. He's like, straight up, Charlie Manuel tells the lefties, you want to hit everything the center field or right field. You don't want to drive anything the other way.
Right.
Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I wasn't in that conversation. But if that what Raul Ibanez is saying that Charlie Manuel was telling the left-handed hitters to do, that tells me everything I need to know about his ability as a hitting coach. You always want to hit everything the other way. Whether you're right-handed, left-handed, both-handed, I don't care.
Yeah.
You're hitting everything. You want to hit the other. That's a great approach. Hit things the other way.
Right.
And that's obviously wasn't what Charlie was teaching. So I think there was more to that than maybe just Raul going downhill. Or Ryan, not wanting to make adjustments. It might have been bad coaching as well. I can't speak to it firsthand. I can just tell you the story. This has been the Rundown on A2DRadio.com. Brought to you by Legends Tap, the best pizza this side of the Delaware. We've run through all our sponsors, so we'll throw Legends Tap out there one more time. The best pizza this side of the Delaware, 318 I Street, Burlington, New Jersey. Give them a call, 609-386-3001, or follow them on Facebook at Legends Tap.
Good show, guys.
Take care, everybody.
Later.